will be a permanent solution to the problem in Budalangi. But in Nyando, as you know, we have the Soin Koru Dam, and this is one issue that we'll soon be going to Kisumu with the CS Kariuki to engage the county government, because we are asking Kenyans, unless they give way, unless they give land for us to build dams to hold the water, for us to build dikes like in Budalangi, there are quite a number of families that have not given land for this period. There have been delays. The National Land Commission has the money, and the people have not moved. So that compensation process must be fast-tracked. The dikes must be built. So in Koru, there was already money put aside several years ago. But the politics around there, people are not ready to move or to give land. But as we speak, permanent solution would be dams to hold the water, check dams along the major rivers, whether you're talking of Tana or Nzoia, and the dikes that we are already constructing. Thank you.
I will ask the regional security team in Nairobi today, in fact after this meeting, working with the Nairobi Metropolitan Service and the others, to give me an accurate picture on exactly what is happening in Kariobangi. Then we can see what we can do about it. Because what I am told is that a number of people, that land has all along been known to be land meant for the expansion of the sewage project. And even those who lived there knew actually that they were illegally occupying the land. And what I was told as late as last night is that many of those who occupied the land left on their own volition once they were given notice to get out of the place. But we are responsible as public administrators and as public leaders. I will ask the regional security team to give me a report on Kariobangi later this afternoon, and I will look at it with my colleagues and see how to address the matter. But since I have this opportunity, I need to say this. And on this particular one, fellow Kenyans, there's a dimension about our life that is just amazing. The level of sometimes hypocrisy with which we live on some of these things. And for those of us in leadership, you're always faced with this very difficult situation. There are several government and public sector projects to be implemented. I chair the committee that was put up by the president on project implementation. And one inhibition and one challenge we are facing across the country in the implementation of projects is the amount of public land that has been grabbed by private individuals. And believe it or not, and I want to ask you, my brothers and sisters from the fourth state, to also do your homework and know how much money, either in cases where we have even borrowed money as government to use to develop projects which we cannot develop because the land on which some of these projects are supposed to be developed has been grabbed by private individuals or encroached by people. And we cannot move. We have resources in our books to implement programs, but you cannot implement the programs because the land has been encroached or the land has been stolen by private individuals. The last time, I am informed by my colleagues, in the Ministry of Water and Irrigation, that the last time anybody paid serious attention to Nairobi's sewerage program is 1936. And look at how the population in Nairobi has grown. And the reason why this has not happened is that everywhere you go, in the case of Nairobi where you're supposed to do this expansion, the land has actually been grabbed or has been taken by private individuals. And people know this. People are told this in advance. You are actually sitting on public land. There's a project that is terminating here. We may be able to, probably open up and pump sewage in this direction. People know this, but then either people don't move or they just continue staying there. I don't know, what we are supposed to do as public leaders. Are we supposed to, people are told a year in advance, 6 months in advance, 5 months in advance, then they will still come back later on and say, oh, we were not warned, we were not given enough notice, and so on and so forth. This is a matter on which I would like, that we be absolutely transparent with you. And we are going to start the system where we even avail some of these project documents to you as the media and you look at them. Some agreements that were reached long time ago on projects that cannot be implemented because the land has been encroached on. People have stolen, public land and so on and so forth. So we will deal with the issue of Kariobangi. I will ask the RC and the team to look into that matter and understand and figure out how we are going to help the Wananchi who are involved in that matter, because some of them, to be fair, actually, are innocent people who have been misled by, by land grabbers and by criminals in our midst. So we will try to resolve that problem. But I want to plead with you that while we solve that problem, also join us in asking all of us to be cooperative with the government, because sometimes government finds itself in a very difficult situation. You have borrowed and organized, a facility from the African Development Bank to expand a particular project. You cannot proceed because there are people who grabbed the land and they are sitting on it. Through the process of discussion, people are told they are involved, but it's always easy for people to claim, oh, we were not told, we were not given sufficient notice. This is not the right time for us to move out of the place, and so on and so forth. Some of these, to be very honest, absolutely honest, some of these are just excuses. Let us just face the truth. There's work we need to do for our country, and it's unfortunate that sometimes innocent people suffer in this process. But we will do the best we can to address the plight of some of our people. Some who are innocently caught in this kind of situation. But it's not that we are doing it as an unfeeling and caring, irresponsible government. Sometimes we also find ourselves in this very painful situation where you have a project to proceed and complete, but at the same time, there are innocent people who are sold public land and they were brought in that respect. So we will work together with the regional security team to address that issue of Kariobangi, and I will ensure that working with the rest of my colleagues in the team, we will sort it out, and we will try the best we can to alleviate the burden and the pain of our people. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Members of press for coming to this meeting.
Naam, barabara kabisa mpenzi mtazamaji, hizo ni picha za moja kwa moja kutoka hapa katika jiji la Nairobi, ambapo waziri wa masuala ya ndani Daktari Fred Matiang'i amezungumzia swala la unyakuzi wa ardhi, ambapo kuna watu ambao